seeing airplanes in the sky, and then a strike to the AlJazeera port. And then we heard a very, very huge explosion and big smoke. After that, our people, they tried to go there towards the smoke, but they stopped them from going there. After that, some man phoned us, and he said there is so many injured and killed people there. So the ambulance and some doctors immediately go there, but they faced them with they started firing them and trying to stop them from going to the explosion place.
So Khalid, can I just ask you? We're seeing pictures of 2 or 3 columns of black smoke. Is that the oil facilities in Ras Al Hanouf, or is that in Sidra?
Yeah, it's one port. It's one port. It's taking the same name before. It's AlJazeera port, but it's also taking the crude oil and the refinery productions from the same port.
So what is it? What exactly is it that's been hit? Where is the smoke coming from?
It's exactly from the port, exactly from the GTs, from the buildings and the port itself. So
have oil facilities been damaged by the plane attacks?
Unfortunately, nobody can enter the zone, because when our people started going there to rescue the injured people from there, they're firing them from the Jawad.
I see.
But but we are sure it's AlJazeera port.
Okay, and
sure.
And what are you and your fellow fighters doing? Because you cannot withstand attacks by Gaddafi's planes, can you?
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well.
How are you? Are you fighting back? What are you doing while these attacks take place?
Yes. Our people are fighting back. They're trying to fight, and they're trying to go towards Bin Jawad since morning. And the opposition is still standing still. The Gaddafi troops couldn't go even one step towards us. But the only thing they are bombing with they're making air strikes. This is we cannot avoid.
Okay, Khalid, thank you very much indeed for updating us on that situation. Khalid in Ras Al Hanouf telling us that there have been attacks by Gaddafi's planes on the oil port, which is also known as Sidra in Ras Al Hanouf, but they can't get any closer. They don't know what casualties are there because they've been stopped from going into the area, and fighting is taking place on the ground there. Let's speak to Awad El Fatouri from the Libyan Information Centre in Qatar, who's in the studio with us. Clearly, the attacks on these oil ports are increasing. Why is Gaddafi bombing these places with air attacks? Is he not worried about destroying his oil facilities, or is he doing this deliberately?
Well, I think one of the reasons his act is out of desperation. The guy is so desperate now, and he wants to scare the world. He wants to create a situation where there is environmental catastrophes, and trying to scare the world to interfere in his side. He went as far as connecting his existing with the security of Israel. He went as that far, this guy. So it is a mix of things. He's panicking, and he wants to send this message to the world to put them in a situation where they interfere. We want the world to interfere. We ask the world to impose a no-fly zone. If not for the Libyan people, at least for their oil now.
Gaddafi has said if a no-fly zone is imposed, then the Libyan people will take up arms and fly back. But realistically, how much strength do his forces have if they're not able to use their planes, their warplanes?
That's what we've been asking for since this revolution started. We have been asked to have these no-fly zones, because we know if Gaddafi not able to use his air force, we are definite and we are sure almost to defeat him, because this is the only weapon he can use and cause damage to the other parties.
What do you make of this news that a Libyan general seems to have flown to Cairo with a message, we're told, a message from Muammar Gaddafi, and he may be planning to give some kind of presentation to the Arab League? Is this Gaddafi's attempts at diplomacy?
I look at it from other way. I think when Gaddafi sent his envoy to the National Transactional Council, I believe Gaddafi sent them. Despite he denied that. I think Gaddafi, in the same times, he's trying to find a way to save his face, and I think sending his general today is going in the same way. He's trying to find a way to save his face and his family and his fortune. I'm sure Gaddafi, he will never run out of excuses if his envoy been denied whatever he's asking for. He will probably deny that he sent anybody in first place, because he's been doing this ever since he came to the power. The guy is a compulsive liar.
Awad, thank you very much indeed for that. Awad El-Fateri in the studio with me there. Now, as change sweeps the Middle East, there are fears of a new crackdown in Iraq. After anti-government demonstrations last week, security forces beat and arrested hundreds of protesters. Officials have since apologized, but protesters fear further repressive measures are on the way. From Baghdad, here's Jane Araf.
This is what's left of the Rashid family's alcohol store, one of the few that was still open in Baghdad. It was bombed along with 7 others recently, just after Eid Rashid closed up for the day. Eid is Yazidi, an ancient religion here. Yazidis and Christians have always owned liquor stores in Iraq. But as the government embraces a stricter interpretation of Islam, Eid says there's no room for them anymore.
Especially the Christians and Yazidis. We don't know how we will live. In the north, if we open a restaurant, nobody will come to it. In south, we have these shops, they attack us and steal from us and kill us.
It's not just drinking that's under threat. The cultural heart of Baghdad, Al-Mutanabi Street, has been rebuilt since it was bombed in 2007. But many of the city's writers, artists, and intellectuals have left the country.
Baghdad has always been known for its diversity, its cultural tolerance. It's a part of the national identity, but many people fear it's being crushed.
Hadi Al-Mahdi is an outspoken radio show host, but his criticism of the government has cost him dearly. He was one of dozens of media people arrested and beaten after a recent protest. Iraq is at a crossroads, he says, between freedom and dictatorship. Zina Khattab is a television reporter. She felt free enough to enter and win a local beauty pageant.